Yes, hot from the bench. Wakili, a quick one here. Ojuma Barak. Here is a lesson we learn why Obado, Oyamo and Obiero were denied extension of bond terms after they were judged, after the judgment. But before I do that, let me tell you that the wheels of justice may be slow, but the grind certainly very fine. Number two, not all justice delayed are denied. Sometimes justice that is hurried is justice thrown away. So do me one favor, stay away from crime. Now let's come back. Why were they denied? And why is it difficult to be freed on bail or bond after you've been adjudged guilty? Let's try and explore this. Article 52 of the Constitution provides that every accused person, and it's very specific, every accused person has the right to be presumed innocent until others is proven. So in other words, the right of presumption of innocence is only available for the accused person, not the convicted ones. And this right of presumption of innocence is dependent, is linked to right to be freed on bail or bond time. Once you have been convicted, you don't get to enjoy the right of presumption of innocence. And in other words, you don't get to enjoy the automatic right to be freed on bail or bond. So bail and bond are provided under Article 49H of the Constitution, which basically provides that every arrested person or person waiting trial, in other words, an accused person, has a right to be freed on bail or bond pending trial or pending being charged of an offense. So this right is only available to the people who are still presumed innocent. And what's the rationale of Article 49 or the right to be freed on bail or bond? The rationale is, at that time, you are still presumed innocent. And the court or justice system will not permit a circumstance that you go through a whole trial, that at the end you are acquitted of all the charges, but you'll have already served a substantial amount or period of the sentence, or you've served in jail as you were conducting a trial. In other words, this right is available to protect and preserve personal liberty, so that a person's right to liberty is not violated while they are doing their trial pending determination. So when you are acquitted, you get not to have suffered or to have your right to liberty violated. That's the rationale behind the right to bail and bond, to preserve persons' liberty. But once you have been convicted, you are no longer innocent. And right to liberty is not available to persons who are convicted. So once you are convicted, you don't get to argue that when you are not freed on bail or bond, then your right to liberty will be violated. No. Unless you demonstrate exceptional circumstances that should warrant the court to allow you to be freed on bail or bond. And these are the exceptional circumstances that one can demonstrate to be freed on bail or bond pending appeal, which is basically more or less the same as extension of bail or bond after judgment or after conviction. The exceptional grounds or circumstances may be that you have high chances of succeeding on an appeal. If you file an appeal, there is high chances that your appeal will be successful. In other words, your conviction will be overturned. And therefore, if your conviction is overturned, you will be innocent. Now you get to enjoy the right to be presumed innocent again. Now, therefore, you qualify for the right of liberty. High probability, prima facie basis, that your appeal will be successful. And maybe another ground, I'll not mention all of them, is that your conviction carry a shorter sentence. So when you have a likelihood of appeal being successful and your conviction is of a shorter sentence, then if you are taken to jail, you will have served a substantial amount or period of the sentencing, or even served the entire sentence. And therefore the success of the appeal will bear no fruit. It will be futile, it will be useless, it will be nugatory, and your right to liberty will have been violated in either way. So these are some of the exceptional circumstances you may need to prove to court. But all in all, once you are guilty, the right to bail and bond is gone. But do me one favor again. Just stay away from crime. Stay away from crime. Committee and other prisons is not that welcoming. Just stay away from crime. Thank you.